Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Williams, and for this video discussion board, I'm going to be talking to you about my research project. My topic is Presbyterianism in South Carolina, its origins, and its legacy to the American Revolution. My research question is, in what ways did Presbyterianism, in particular, the Presbyterian clergy in South Carolina, impact the sentiments of independence from Great Britain prior to the American Revolution? And my thesis statement is Presbyterians have played an important role in the religious, political, and social landscape of the development of the United States, and in particular, South Carolina. The Presbyterian clergy emerged as proponents of the American Revolution and spoke on the issue of independence with zeal and eloquence. Now, when I first started this research project, there was a ton of research out there. There are a lot of secondary sources, and I've been challenged to find more primary sources, which I've been able to do. The project itself is going to focus on the development of Presbyterianism in the United States, the clergy in South Carolina, and then their impact that the clergy had on spreading the message of independence among their congregants through their sermons. To start my research project, I'm going to begin with an overview of the origins of the Presbyterian Church in the United States, and then its overall spread throughout the colonies, and in particular the Southern colonies in South Carolina. I'm going to look at individual Presbyterian ministers in South Carolina, such as William Tennent and Thomas Reese. Then I'm going to look at I'm going to do an analysis of their message to their congregants, in an effort to highlight their support and their sentiments of the growing cry for independence from Great Britain. Then eventually, I should conclude with the role that the Presbyterian clergy had on the independence movement and their lasting legacy of proponents for separation of the colonies from Great Britain. Through research, I'm going to investigate the establishment of Presbyterianism in the colonies. I'm going to look at the clergy and individuals and the role that they played. I found some pretty interesting quotes from some of our founding fathers. For example, John Adams is going to note in a letter to his wife that the Presbyterian clergy engage in politics with a fervor that will produce wonderful effects. Thomas Jefferson also spoke on the role of the Presbyterian clergy, and he said that Presbyterian spirit is known to be so congenial with friendly liberty. Now, taking those into account, on the other hand, across the pond, the English saw Presbyterians as a threat to what they were establishing in the colonies. So that's just an interesting way to look at it there. South Carolina, in particular, a lot of Presbyterian ministers played a significant role in fueling the flames of the American Revolution. William Tennent, again, was one of those ministers. Alexander Garden said that he boldly stepped forward the champion of liberty and independence. With zeal and eloquence, preached resistance, nor failed to support it with all his energies. So this research topic is pretty interesting. It's local to me. I live in South Carolina right now, and did find a lot of correlation between Presbyterian ministers and what they were preaching through their sermons and revolutionary ideals and the zeal, the passion that they had for it. It's also important to note that Presbyterians had an impact on our First Amendment principle of the separation of church and state. William Tennent went to the South Carolina Constitutional Convention, and he was a huge proponent of the separation of church and state. I look forward to watching the rest of your videos and hope that all goes well for you. Thank you.